worried about everything. Anyways, so around 5 a.m., right? 5 a.m., my mom's cell phone rings. I'm thinking, well, it's 5 a.m., they can just call back later. And it rang twice. It was called twice. So we checked the number, and this is completely up to you if you want to believe me. It doesn't matter. It's just that I proved to you that we got a call from 6666. Anyways, so I checked the number later. Because I told my mom we got 2 missed calls earlier today, and because that shit just happened, right? And there's this horror movie called One Missed Call, and I was like, yeah, 2 missed calls, ooh, scary. And they're both from a 609 number. Now I just moved. That's our new area code. And I'm thinking, well, okay, there's people down here who call us at 5 a.m., like school or whatever. Yeah, no offense if anybody from the school is watching this. So I checked the number, and I recognize it. And I'm thinking, maybe it's in school, because I would recognize that number at least. And I call it, because my mom suggested that I think it's a house phone number, because we didn't even know our own house number, because, I had, no friends until then, recently. I really didn't have a reason to use a house phone. I just didn't know the number. That's all that matters. I didn't know the number of the house phone. So, I check the cell phone, and, she recognized the number, I recognize the number, we don't know what number it is, whose it is, and I said, well, you know what, why don't we just call the phone, see who it was? And she's like, well, yeah, sure, that makes perfect sense. So I call it, right, and my mom had the house phone in her hand, because my sister got it later on, because she wanted to talk to her friend, and my mom had to, there's a whole bunch of shit going on. Anyways, she has the phone in her hand, and I call the number. Oh, that's my sister's friend. Anyways, I call the number, and guess what phone rings? This one, the house phone. So what this means is, our house phone called our cell phone twice, while everybody was in the same room, nobody was awake, and nobody was in the house, besides us. And everyone else besides me was asleep. Now, what I find weird about that is, as I said earlier, my mom is crippled. And, we have a new big house. And my dad, kind of got sick of, yelling upstairs to my mom, because, who really wants to listen to, Mary, it's... So, anyways, he would always call my mom's cell phone from downstairs, because, well, he would always be either downstairs or somewhere else, or whatever, because, he he was kind of getting old, and he didn't really want to go up the stairs to talk to her about something really quick, Anyways, he would always call her on that phone to her cell phone, and especially around if he was not in the room or whatever at 5 a.m. or whatever, he would probably call her at around 5:30 a.m., which is around when it happened, for coffee, because she'd always have coffee with him around 5 a.m. And it just all this seems to be happening together. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really put the pieces together with the heart attack. Nah, that's what happened to me. He had a heart attack. We didn't really put the pieces together until slowly. It's just like one big puzzle. You know what I mean? He didn't tell me this, but he told her that. That stuff. And, he had the signs of a heart attack, but he didn't go to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. So I think that was natural. But my mom suggested that, 2 years earlier, he had been in a very severe accident, and his heart stopped twice. His heart stopped twice, and they had to shock him twice back to life, technically. And she suggested, well, because I don't really have a specific religion. I wouldn't like to say I'm not religious, but I'm not Christian. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. She's Christian, and she thinks that maybe God gave him 2 years with us, because what happened was he was working at FedEx for 10 years, since I was 4, and no, since I was 2. Yeah, because he had 2 years. Since I was 2, and that was his job, and he did it great. He was He was 50 years old, and he was motivated by us, his kids, and that was the main reason that he had to live. You know what I mean? So she thinks maybe he was spared for 2 years to come stay with us, and that's basically how we moved down here. Previously we were living up in Greenbrook with extremely high taxes, high rent, renting a tiny house, 2-bedroom with a 5-person family and a cat and a crazy dog that we gave back, but that doesn't matter. So it just all happens to fit together in a very weird way, and this shit's all weird. It's all freaking weird. But that phone call that can't be disproven, that's kind of screwed up. So have a nice day. Try not to get phone calls from 6666. Bye.